It is now my pleasure to introduce Ryan Stachelski, who serves as the Director of Economic Development for the City of Arvada and as the Executive Director of the Arvada Economic Development Association. Ryan has served in various roles in economic development over a decade in the Denver metro area, Central Illinois, and in West Africa as a Peace Corps volunteer. Over the years, Ryan has focused primarily on business retention activities. While with AIDA, the organization has been recognized by Business Retention and Expansion International, the International Economic Development Council for its business retention and expansion programs. Additionally, AIDA has become the first accredited economic development association in the state of Colorado by IEDC. Please join me in welcoming Ryan Stachelski.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. Thanks to the Chamber. You guys do an outstanding job, and you're doing so good promoting this. The audience gets larger and larger. So I'm going to start my clock here at 10 minutes and try not to go over, because the real draw here this morning is Patty, and she does an excellent job. And I just want to give a little bit of a Arvada flavor of some of the things that were going on. So one of the things that I'm really excited about is the fact that we were the first accredited economic development organization in the state of Colorado, but what makes me really proud is that we were just reaccredited. So at the beginning of this year, we had gone through another exercise, and you need to look at your work every 3 years, and we were fortunate enough to receive that accreditation again. So now we are 2 times accredited through that organization. So the things that I wanted to talk about today were really kind of giving a flavor of some of the things that have been going on in Arvada, a little bit of trends. We are a results-oriented, data-focused organization, both AIDA and the city of Arvada. And so we like to look at some of the things and trends that have been going on, and this will paint a little bit of a picture. So one of the things, there's really 3 things that we look at in terms of moving the needle and whether or not we're moving forward in economic development, and those have to do with capital investment, jobs, and sales tax returns, and seeing how those items are performing. So what I'm pleased to announce is that 2016, we had our largest year of new commercial capital investment in Arvada. We will, by the time the end of the year is reconciled, we have over $100 million in new commercial capital improvements. And that is both from a standpoint of new buildings going up, but it's also the equipment that manufacturers and other businesses like yourself are also putting into those businesses. Just to show you kind of where we've been, in 2014, we had 88 million, and in 2015, we had 80 million. And so we were on an upward trajectory. Our city council has a goal of, in a 6-year period, doing $350 million. And based on these numbers and where we think that we're going to be going, we'll probably exceed that goal by at least $150 million. We'll probably be over $500 million in new capital investment over a 6-year period starting in 2014. Jobs is another area in which we are excelling. So we had a goal over that same period to create at least 1,000 new jobs in our community over a 6-year period, and we were able to accomplish that in roughly 2.5 years. And so that is just also boding well for what the economy is doing, and that we are the recipients of that good economy. One area that we are struggling in, though, and it's related to jobs, is primary jobs. And I'll give you a couple examples of why that is. But we have a goal of trying to meet with 800 jobs in that period, and right now we're at about 450. And so we're a little bit ahead of the mark, but we're seeing those numbers taper off. And the main reason why it's tapered off is because of our commercial vacancy rates are so low. Our industrial vacancy rate in Arvada is 1.8%. It's about 2% lower than other places in the metro area, and it being 3.5% in other places is incredibly low. And so when we have wonderful businesses that are looking to expand or wanting to come into our community, it's very, very difficult in order to find a place to put them. One of the things that we're doing in order to try to tackle that problem is that there's some land at 66th in Indiana behind where the Walmart neighborhood marketplace is, and there's other industrial buildings there, Prescient, Levanova, Easter Owens, those types of things. There's some land back there, and we are working with the development community in order to create that to be an industrial park. And keep in mind when I say industrial doesn't mean the same things it meant in 1970 and 1980 when we're talking about smokestacks and those types of things. Industrial these days is clean industrial, it's advanced manufacturing, it's mostly entirely indoors, and in these locations it would be. And so think of things like Coors Tech and the amazing things that they're doing in there, kind of being a northern campus for that type of industrial. And so we're excited that we have the opportunity to try to make that happen. There are hurdles that need to overcome in order to accomplish that, but we think that we have such a strong market that we will be able to get something done there in time. Okay, other vacancy rates. So I mentioned our industrial 1.8. Our office is 7.3, but that's still 3% lower than the average in the metro area. So our office rate is lower than what other people, which to me tells me that people find Arvada to be an area of high demand for wanting to locate their business. The other area that we are incredibly low is retail space. So we're at 4%, 4.6%. And so that's also incredibly low. And as you guys know, and you're looking for spaces for your businesses, what that is also telling you is that your rents are going up. So good for property owners, not so good for people who are leasing businesses. Some of the other things that I wanted just to highlight in the short time I had with you is our unemployment rate in Arvada is a mind-boggling, staggering 2.4%. That doesn't even seem realistic. I'm sure Patty can talk more to those types of things and what it means, but the other fun fact that I heard is that there are actually more jobs listed in Indeed and Career Builders and Monster and those types of places than there are actually people looking for jobs in the state of Colorado, which is interesting. It's a workforce development issue because where the issue is there are the people out there to fill the jobs, but there's a disconnect in the skill sets. So I might be really good at making this, but this job over here needs me to do this, and those disconnects. And so that's why workforce development and the training and those types of opportunities that the folks at the state are able to help provide for folks is such an important thing. Other things that I wanted to talk about quickly are just some major projects that are going on. So last year I remember talking to this group, and I was talking about the redevelopment of the Arvada marketplace. That's where Sam's Club is located, Hoo Hot, and it's so great to see that now really transforming and seeing it really take shape in different ways. There's a new sign going up, the landscaping is getting cleaned up, there are some holes in the building that are allowing view corridors so you can see more activity that's going on, and soon enough there'll be a bunch of new restaurants going into that place. So that will be a new activity center for us and really going to be exciting. So I think the anticipated open date of several of those restaurants, what they're targeting is the summer. So second quarter of 2017. Other projects that are going on, Wonko. Wonko is a project that we've talked about for a number of years. Well, it finally had its ribbon cutting earlier this year, so that's an exciting manufacturer that it was able to add 150 new jobs in collaboration with the Highland Hills Parks District. It's finishing its construction of a beautiful 82-acre park that Arvada residents will have access to. I think that will be opening sometime in 2017, so that's an exciting project. Other exciting projects are 2 new grocery stores. One, a Sprouts, is actively under construction at 64th and Joyce. That's something that residents of that area specifically said, hey, we'd really like a Sprouts. And let me tell you, it doesn't often happen where you can like deliver the name of the people that they want. So we're really happy about that. It also happened with Panera, though, at 64th and Youngfield, just off of Ward there. That project's been going good, and the neighborhood there said, we want a Panera right there. And I'm like, okay. So, like, that really doesn't happen, so don't ask. Like, it's not going to happen. No. You always, don't start, Mayor. We do work with Trader Joe's, and we are actively, absolutely trying to get a Trader Joe's In-N-Out burger and those types of things. And we love your suggestions because we will reach out. So the other two projects, which are urban renewal projects that are moving along and will also open in the same time frame, April-May time frame, is the hotel in Old Town. That's going great. And the Walmart at 58 and Independence, Ralston and Independence. So those two projects are coming in line. April is going to be a big month for ribbon cuttings. I hope the chamber is ready. I hope the mayor is ready for those ribbon cuttings. That'll be great. The other thing, so I'm done with my time, but the two other things that I want to just bring to everybody's attention is what's going on with the Safeway at 64th and Ward. And so that's a Safeway-owned property, and I have been working with the real estate broker for it, and he tells me that it is under contract. And so somebody is buying that. However, they have not disclosed an end user. They have not actually disclosed whether or not they have an end user or if they're buying it as an investment. If they're buying it as an investment, though, they have a pretty good idea that they're going to be able to fill it. I think that when I talk to the real estate broker, he has had lots and lots of different interest in it, so I'm not worried about it not being backfilled and being a productive piece of real estate for us. What has mostly been happening is that, as everybody knows, Safeway has been going through lots of transitionings, and they've been focusing on lots of different things, and this has not been the highest priority. We're hoping that now that an investor has it under contract, that they will make it more of a priority, and so that we'll get something in there sooner rather than later. The last thing that I wanted to do, and this is a good segue into Patty, is that we were doing a leakage study and trying to understand of the sales tax that is generated in the city of Arvada, how much of it comes from city of Arvada residents versus people on the outside. And so through work that Patty and I did together, she did the work, I just asked her. And so, through the work that Patty really did, one of the things, and this is an interesting fun fact, there's more details that I can talk about later, but the high-level thing is that of the sales tax that's generated in the city, 48% comes from Arvada residents, meaning the balance, 52%, comes from outside the community. So we are a net intaker of new money coming into our community on the Wadsworth corridor and Kipling and those types of things. And that's just good information to know because we need more money than we're able to produce ourselves in order to keep the high level of police services that we have and parks and do the other things that we need to do in order to be the great community that we are. So with that, I will take questions after Patty is done, and thank you so much.